is for us to appreciate the 2024 national budget. We presented the President and the government at large to present a proposal, or if you like, a policy forecast to be approved by the people, represented by Parliament. So in November, the Finance Minister then had to appear before Parliament to submit a budget. And in that budget, there were projections of revenue and projections of expenditure. And that is what we want to appreciate today. That they gave a theme to the budget document, and the theme was to pursue growth and development within a stable macroeconomic environment. That when we implement that budget document or the policy, the budget is a fiscal policy. So he was optimistic that when we are able to implement that policy to the fullest, we expect to grow, we expect to develop, and we expect to have a stable macroeconomic environment. So, macroeconomic environment. In our social life, we have been told that environment refers to the things around us. But in the field of economics, when we talk about macroeconomic fundamentals, we are looking at the features, the indicators, the demographics that tell us the state of our economy, the interest rates. Put all these arguments together, then we are looking at the environment or the economic environment. Now, at times, these figures or these indicators are not stable. They keep changing from time to time, responding to issues or, if you like, some interactions within the economy. The seller is the same, the buyer is the same. What is causing the change? We need to appreciate all this so that we can get involved in governance. More people do not really want to be involved because we don't know. It's when we get informed, that is when we can participate in national governance. So the finance minister representing government was hopeful that when we implement this year's budget, then we should have stability in terms of the cumulative change in prices. So you go to buy food today and the price is the same. Expectedly, in a week, a month, or even 2 months' time, we expect that we go to the same market, the same buyer and the same seller, we can get the same product at the same price. That gives you the ability to plan well. But if the prices keep changing, yourself, you don't know how to plan well. So one of the policy objectives was that we will have a stable macroeconomic environment. So basically, that was what the budget sought to achieve. So the theme is the broader perspective, the focus. But specifically, what do we want to achieve at the end of the fiscal year? What is government's aim at the end of the fiscal year? What does government want to realize or achieve at the end of the fiscal year after implementing the budget? Have a zero weight on locally produced sanitary pads. Sanitary pads, government was proposing that instead of charging some VAT on it, our women are complaining that the sanitary pads are expensive and so they cannot afford. Some have to resort to other means of tidying up themselves, and so government resorted to reducing the VAT on locally produced sanitary pads. And that is also to ignite the production of sanitary pads within the local economy. If you go into the market, you find varieties of them, but majority of them are produced from the international community and brought down here. So government had to bring this initiative so that our producers within the country can be motivated to produce more of the sanitary pads. Another tax relief is to grant import duty waivers for raw material for the local manufacturing of the sanitary pads as part of the means of igniting local production, and to grant exemptions on the importation of agricultural machinery, equipment and inputs. We all agree that agri is the backbone of the Ghanaian economy. In the fiscal year, 2024 fiscal year, we want to tax, want to impose a new tax called the game revenue tax. The online games we play, where we make huge sums of money from that, the aviator and their allies. Nana do play aviator, we play. Oh, then you don't know how to make money. There's a huge opportunity over there for people to make money. It's out of game. So government says that no, when you win, we don't take the money just like that. Just give a percentage, something small, to government as tax. This one too is not a big deal. So in the past, the gaming companies used to pay corporate tax. The profit they make at the end of the month, government will charge a levy on, I think it was around 25%. But now, you, the person who is earning the money too, you also need to pay a levy to the government. And as part of the revenue handles that were introduced, government is proposing that there be a review on the excise rate on beer. Those of us who take some alcohol, they're going to increase something small as a levy so that we can pay for drinking. So if you don't want to pay, then you have to stop drinking. But if you want to drink, then you must be prepared to pay something little to government. Then, to expand the environmental excise duty to cover plastic waste. So the waste that are generated from our plastic materials, government wants to tax us on that. Good. And to introduce this one, they have already brought us on board to introduce the industrial and vehicle emission taxes. These are taxes that are levied on motor vehicle users, owners. So if you have a car or you have a motorbike, government is saying that you need to pay some tax for the fuels you are, producing from your engine. You need to be taxed for that, so that you can also be motivated to go and buy the electric car. When you buy the electric car, you are safe because you don't produce any fuel. And so this tax handle has already started, and if you have a vehicle, begin to think of ways and means of going to pay, because the law will catch you when you go to renew your license. There's a component for that. If you have not paid this tax, the license might not be renewed, and you have to be forced to pay that. Then,
where we are considering as an alternative nuclear energy to produce on large scale. We have the solar, we have wind, we have different forms, but we are actually trying to move. And part of the discussion is that the nuclear will be faster. You don't need a larger area like the solar panel if you are going to invest hugely into that. And so we are moving from the fuel, so the fuel, in 2060 wouldn't be fuel because the people who actually buy those fuel from you are moved on. That's part of the reason why you are seeing that they are coming to set up their factories in Africa. And Ghana is one of the gateways they are entering into Africa, especially West Africa, because of our stable economy and everything. But they are in the West, they gradually mostly moved from using the fuel vehicles So if they've moved, they